Hi everyone, hope you are well. God, it's got really bright, hasn't it, my camera? Bit of news today. The army are changing the shirts that they wear. So at the minute they only come in a couple of sizes really, and they're really baggy, which I quite like. They're quite comfortable. But they're changing them to become a lot more fitted for different body types really. And what you're going to get is a change in the pockets that you get on your shirt. So at this moment in time, regardless of the size of the shirt that you get, the pockets are all the same size. So therefore, if you have somebody who's quite petite and somebody who's pretty much massive, got the biggest size shirt, the pockets are exactly the same size. So the pockets on the smaller shirt look absolutely massive. They pretty much take up the whole of the shirt. However, the ones on the larger ones, they look quite small on. So that's what the army are doing, and that's going to be from the 23rd of August. So if you start, more than likely, if you start basic training sometime in September or October, you're probably going to get a more fitted shirt, which will, it won't make a lot of difference for me. I don't mind them being quite baggy. Like I said, they're quite comfortable, especially when it gets warm as well. They're quite airy. But if you want a more fitted shirt, you can get a more fitted shirt, which is absolutely fine, or you can just go and get them still quite baggy, however you want it, to be perfectly honest with you. So that's the one update. And also there's another policy update. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. Is what they call exercise long look, where they take a couple of hundred people from the British Army each year and you do an exchange with the Australian Army. So you can go out to Australia for anywhere between 4 months and a year, and the Australians come over here. And one of my friends have done it, and he had literally the best time of his life. And you get a lot of time off there as well to go around and to go and explore Australia and have a really good time. So if you want to do that, if you're already in the army, you need to apply for that straight away, and then you'll probably get notified sometime in September. I had a couple of I had an Australian and a New Zealander when I was a troop staff sergeant in my old unit. I had New Zealand and an Australian. They came over. We worked them quite hard, to be honest. And when you speak to my mate, when he went over to Australia, they didn't really do much. They just went sightseeing for 4 months. But they came over and then they got a month off then, and they travelled throughout the UK, and they drove all the way up to Scotland from West Wales, which is like hundreds of miles. But they drove up there, and they went all around the UK, and they went to, I think they went on a holiday to Spain as well. So they went and done a little bit of Europe, which obviously from Australia is a lot more expensive. But STEM, yeah, you're dead right. In a year in Aussie would be pretty amazing. Harry, he's got his AOSB briefing in October. What sort of things should I be doing to prepare physically? AOSB briefing, most people are generally okay with the AOSB when it comes to fizz. I would imagine it'll either be the bleep test or the 2-kilometer run. Just practice that, work on your upper body, and also work on pull. I think pull-ups is such a good exercise for all-round strength, and especially if you do a squat then into a pull-up, so then you're working your lower limbs and your upper body as well. And if you can do a good number of pull-ups, you can pretty much do anything, absolutely anything, because it just means that you can carry your body weight quite easily. So that is something I always do. Well, I say I always do pull-ups. I do them at least three or four times a week. My workout today was burpees. I did 10 burpees on the minute, every minute for 40 minutes. And then I did a load of stretching off as well. So that was my workout today. So even something like that, just set yourself a timer, Harry, 20 minutes, say, do 10 burpees, which will take you about between 35 and 40 seconds. Then you get 20 seconds rest, then you're straight back into it. So I ended up doing 400 in total. If you do 20 minutes, you're going to end up doing 200. But something like that will get you super fit. And it's all about being able to carry your body weight, hold your body weight, and work hard under your own body weight as well. And if you do something like that, most aspects of PT will become really easy for you. For instance, I don't do a lot of running because some people love running, love going on long runs. Not for me. I don't like it. But because I keep fit and do lots of high intensity training, I'm pretty decent at the likes of like 2 kilometers, 4 kilometers, anything like that. I rather train to run rather than run to train. Just going through the questions now. Gab, hi, how's it going? Gab got through the assessment center a couple of days ago or a week ago, I think it was. Gab on there. Really well done there. Westy got his assessment center in 2 weeks. All his physical and mental exams have been okay right now. What can I do to ensure you pass? The only thing generally you're going to fail on in the assessment center is the phys. That's what you generally hear people failing on. So I've done a med ball throw video, I've done a 2 kilometer run video, the hex bar, the deadlift. Oh no, you do a mid thigh pull, you'll be fine with that. I don't hear anyone failing the mid thigh pull. So work on the med ball throw, just a 4 kilometer anything. Do something like that. See how far you can throw it, and that's generally the things in the 2 kilometer run. But the 2 kilometer run is not too bad. You get quite a lot of time for that, to be honest with you. So that is something to work on your phys. You can hammer your phys, you'll be absolutely fine. Stem's been doing press ups and burpees for the bleep test. Is it 10 meters either way? Oh my god, no. Is it 10 meter or 20 meters? 20 meter, I think the bleep test is. From what I remember, I can't remember. Even though I've done a video on it, I think it was 20 meters. I think you've got a 15 meter and a 20 meter. I think it's 20 meters the beep test is. Yeah, T-header pull-ups is king. Yeah, popsicle ice. Nice. When is the army going to be accepting? Oh, mate, I don't know. I'm so sorry about that. I have no idea when they're going to be accepting Commonwealth. I get a lot of these questions. I have no idea. It'll be policy. But as soon as I find out, I will definitely release something on it, even if it's just a YouTube short, just saying everything's good to go again. But unfortunately, mate, I don't know. I don't know that one. Daniel got his assessment center on the 10th of September, doing 7.3 to 7.5 on bleep test, but get muscle tiredness. How and can I improve in that time? Easy. So if you're getting muscle tiredness, I'm guessing your muscle tiredness is probably in your quads or your hamstrings or your calves or something like that. So you need to be doing lots of HIIT workout. Do lots of HIIT workout. Just do the bleep test just once a week. Do lots of HIIT, and that will get your legs ready for it. Lots of burpees, squats, lunges. Perhaps get a kettlebell. Doing some kettlebell swings are really good as well. I've got lots of videos on my channel that you can do, especially lower leg workouts. Anything like that, you'll be absolutely fine with the bleep test. If you get muscle tiredness within your legs, you need to build up the endurance in your legs. So lots of HIIT work. T. Hunter, Afghan, what's my thoughts? I think, look, we were discussing this in work today. Afghan, for me, and the tours I did in Afghan, I was very lucky, didn't get any injuries, came away, get a tour bonus. You know, it was okay for me, but for some people that lost limbs, arms, legs, lost their lives, their families, I feel really sorry for, especially the bereaved families. But it generally shouldn't come as much as a surprise as it has, and as the news are making out. Russians have tried to dominate Afghan. The Chinese have tried. I think the Russians have tried twice to take Afghan. But in the true sense of the word, you cannot beat crazy. And when you go into Afghan, the Taliban, they don't care. They just threw cannon fodder at us for 20 years, and they didn't care how many people that they lost whatsoever. And now it's just all come to fruition for them. They've just waited it out, waited for us to leave. They knew we were going to go eventually. And now they've got a stronghold in Afghanistan again. I don't think we'll go back in. I think we don't have the money to go back into Afghanistan, obviously, especially with coronavirus and the amount of money the UK has spent on that. So my thoughts are that it's sad, really sad for the people that have lost their lives and limbs, and I feel terrible for them. But it's nothing new, is nothing that has never happened before as far as Afghanistan is concerned. What the Taliban are going to do now with regards to terrorism throughout the UK, or the insurgency or ISIS or anything like that, I don't know. I can't comment. But I can see us going back as a whole army back into Afghanistan. I think we'll go in as the AATF are in there now. They're doing their non-combatant evacuation operation, their NEO. They'll drag all the British, the non-combatant British personnel out there and bring them back to the UK. Gab starts basic on the 19th of September. Aim is to do 2 pull-ups by then, and I can only do 1 at the minute. Gabs, I tell you, right, I did the SCR the other day with a load of people, soldier conditioning review, easy test. One of the assessments is pull-ups, but you're not graded on it. You're not graded on pull-ups. They're putting all the data together now to see if they're going to grade anyone or if they're going to keep pull-ups in the SCR. And there were loads of people that couldn't even do 1 pull-up. Fizz isn't a priority for a lot of people. I totally get that. They have other things which are priorities. I get it. But the fact that you can do 1 pull-up is superb. And if you can do 1 pull-up, 2 pull-ups is not far away. But the main thing I think that will help you achieve 2 pull-ups is the fact that you're not saying my aim is to get to 20 pull-ups. It's these marginal gains you've got to get to. So you aim to do 2 pull-ups is realistic. And I think you'll get that really, really soon. I really do. Especially you've gone from 0 to 1, which is the hardest part. Now you just got to get to the next one. Leo Heister, interested in taking a boxing, but it feels like the boxing team is ignoring me. I emailed them at the beginning of June and Facebooked them about 2 weeks ago. What should I do? Right. So we were going to put on a boxing tournament in November at my unit that I'm at now, because I'm the level 2 boxing coach here, but we're not going to do that. The problem is that, well, it'll probably start now. I'll probably put one on in March of next year, potentially. If you've emailed the Army boxing team or Facebook the Army boxing team, then they probably won't get back to you. Because they won't just take people on. Generally, what you'll have to do is become a good boxer at regimental level, if you can, Liam, or at civvy level. But to get into the Army boxing team, you've got to be fairly decent and have a number of bouts under your belt already. That's what I'd say. But they every now and again they will do like a selection process. But generally, if you're going to go Army boxing, you need to get recommended to them by someone. Stems, yeah, assessment center mid-September. When's the oh god, I think they replaced the 2 kilometer for the bleep test. Yeah, no drama. So much opinion on the whole Afghan. Yeah, just went through that. Got to practice the bleep test. 2 to 4 kilometer runs so far, getting 10-minute 30, 2 kilometer time. That's a pass. STEM 10-minute 30 is your 2 kilometer time. If you can get that down to around 10 minutes, 9 minutes 30, that'll really help. That'll really help you going forward. But 10:30 is a pass, and that's all you need. And that is all you need. But Dan, yeah, is your quad, so get some hit in. Harry, some changes were made to both the briefing and main board due to COVID, such as reducing the time spent there. Yeah, as some of the activities. When do you think this will go back to the pre-COVID way? So, Harry, it's quite difficult to say when it's going to go back, only because we're still under quite a lot of restrictions on the camp I'm at now, and we still have quite a big outbreak of coronavirus within the military military wide at this moment in time, because obviously on weekends everyone goes to the four corners of the UK, meeting up with all their civvy friends, coming back generally, doing an LFT and your lateral flow test, and that's coming up as positive. From there, then everyone on their course isolates, or in their room isolates. So you might get a course of 12 isolating, and only one of which has it. So I think the likes of AOSB and the main board, that they'll take their time when it comes to going back to normal as we know it. Ends, I'm really struggling to get the 2 kilometer from 12 minutes down to 11. Any tips? Yeah, so with regards to getting your run time down when it comes to your 2 kilometers, you want to obviously build your CV, but build your leg strength as well. So I would be doing your 2 kilometers. You can split it down into 500 meters. Hit your 500 meter, take a rest. Hit another 500 meters at exactly the same amount of time, take a rest. Hit another, so all the way to 2K, we're going to try and smash it. So if you want 11 minutes, you're looking at what, 2 minutes 45 for 500 meters, yeah, generally. So that's what 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2 minutes 15, sorry, for 500 meters. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to do your 500 meters in 2 minutes 15. Then you're going to take your 2 minute 15 rest. Then you're going to hammer the next 500 meters in 2 minutes 15 and make sure you get it in 2 minutes 15. Take your rest and keep doing that. So your body gets used to the pace that you need to go at. And then once you've done that and you're happy with it, then you're going to run a kilometer then in your, for whatever timing we're going for. I think I was right the first time, wasn't I, with 2:45. God, mental maths, yeah, 2:45. But either way, split it down, whatever time you want to get to, split it down into 4 and then run it. Then split it down into 2. Then split it down into 3/4. Then do your 2 kilometer. You'll find it really, you'll find it beneficial. And then what you'll do, and you'll find your body's used to running at that pace for those 2 kilometers. That's the best way to do it. Yeah, not gonna lie, if the British Empire can control Afghan, then I doubt we can right now. Yeah, it's never gonna happen. You're never gonna control Afghan. Tihana, yeah, Gab, I followed the steps on your video for the solid 2 weeks, and by the end of the 2 weeks, I could do 2, but I stopped it, and now I'm back to 1. And thanks, no problem. That's the thing. I'm exactly the same. If I don't do pull-ups for a long time, I will drop massively to the amount of pull-ups I can do. A lot of it is muscle memory and being able to heave your body up. So yeah, you've got to keep at it, pull-ups. Some people are lucky and they'll just be able to bang out some pull-ups. But yeah, like you say, Gaz, if you leave it a little while, you will drop down. But you'll soon get up there. You'll soon get up there. Wes, what do they ask in the interview? And also, apart from boxing, what things can you learn in the army of your time? Well, the interview at this moment in time is pretty straightforward. They might just ask you why you want to join whatever battalion or cap badge that you want to join. They might ask you one on values and standards, but generally it's all about limiting time at this moment in time. But you should be okay for that. They don't ask you many questions. They might just ask you, why do you want to join the army, and that's about it. But they're just limiting time at this moment in time. From boxing, what things can you learn in the army on your time off? Oh, you can do loads of online learning. now with the military. Absolutely loads of online learning, loads of cyber online learning, anything you want. And also you can do degrees within the army, you can do short courses with the army. You just apply to get your standard learning credits or enhanced learning credits, and you'll be absolutely, there's loads you can do now with the army in your time off. How many pull-ups can I do? I'm up to about 12. Yeah, KTM Pro, I do 12. I go, but my 12 is a case of full arm extensions to a complete stop. So I'll start off with my arms fully extended, then say to myself, up, get my chin over the bar, down, fully extend on the way down, then up, fully extend, down, and that for about 12, and then I'm pretty much burnt out. And that's what we did on the soldier conditioning review, and that's how they do it on the SCR as well, is up, down, fully extend the arms. It's not like half pull-ups or anything like that. Full pull-ups, and 12 is pretty good. Zidoni, starting basic training in 3 weeks' time and haven't yet had my COVID vaccine. Is it compulsory to get it before I start, or will I be able to get it during training? Whatever it says on the joining instructions. So if it says on the joining instructions you have to have a COVID vaccine, then you'll get your COVID vaccine, but you might not get it in 3 weeks. If it does not say on your joining instructions you have to have your vaccine, then don't worry about it. And you might get it through training, you might get it after training. There's loads of soldiers on camp that don't have the COVID vaccine. So if you haven't been told to get your COVID vaccine, you'll be absolutely fine, mate. I did 3 last week. Oh, DJ Raj is back. Forgot this was happening. That's fine, mate. I forgive you for that. Is the interview right after? How long will it take to go to phase 1 after application? Wow, phase 1 straight after application, that'll take a long time. Some people take ages, months and months. It could be, some people applied in, I think, January, and they just get in there now just to the assessment center because everything's slowing down. So from flash to bang, as they say, it could take a year, it could take 6 months, but it's not going to be a super fast process because they're limiting the amount of people going through at this moment in time. Henry, thanks for my service. Thanks very much, mate. Very nice comment. Thank you. Whoever decided to make a Facebook officer group was a great idea. I'm now in a group chat with lots of other candidates. Yeah, great. So any of those going to AOSB, etc., get on Facebook, join those group chats. Is perfect. Louis C, do you think a combat deployment is likely in the next few years? Oh yeah, so we still have deployments going all over the place, like to Afghanistan, Mali, Estonia, all places like that are in the news. Soldiers are still going to, but just in far fewer numbers. So yeah, there probably is going to be a combat deployment, but a full kind of army scale deployment like we had with Afghan, I don't know. I can't see it anytime soon, but who knows what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day. STEM hasn't been told you needed a vaccine. If you haven't been told you need a vaccine, you're fine. BHS after Sandhurst in January next year. Anything useful to bring that's not on the kit list? What can you bring that's not on the kit? Oh, I don't know if they let you use them there, but I'd probably take like a Garmin GPS, pretty good, just for when you're navving. Just when you're navving, they'll make you use map and compass, but everyone uses Garmin GPSs now. So take something like that, really, really good to use. DJ, hopefully aiming for January. Louis, yeah, no dramas, mate. It was mainly for people in the. So yeah, DJ Raj on about the Facebook group there, but there's loads of groups out there. I know, like, chats like these is just one avenue for you to go down to find out as much information as possible before you go to join. There was nothing like that for me when I joined up whatsoever. So I just went there completely like a rabbit in the headlights sort of thing. I didn't know what was going on. But to be honest, if they they're not there to fail you. None of the assessors are there to fail you, to go out of their way to fail you. They will try and get you through to the best of their ability, and they will help you along the way as well. Mikel Martin, I don't know when they're taking applications for Commonwealth, mate. It's really difficult at this moment in time to state that. I haven't even seen anything to say when they're going to start opening it up for Commonwealth either. So I can't give you a timeline. So I'm not going to. I'm not going to say 6 months. I'm not going to say 12 months. I have no idea at this moment in time. But what I will say is when I do find out anything, I will put it straight on here. I'll do a video for you. Raj has remembered his questions, so he's probably typing that out. Harry noticed a lot of area specific words. Oh, right, okay. Right, so for the young officer, what sort of relationship should a young officer have with their soldiers? Because there is a difference between being friendly and being your friend. Oh, man, young officer, like the young officers I worked with were good lads and lasses. Yeah, I worked with two as well. Good lads and lasses. And you'll become, once you're encamped with them in the squadron or the company, you'll become friends with them. You'll become friends with them. You'll go out on the gas with them, and you will enjoy your time with them. That's pretty much for sure. What you'll find is really for discipline will be your non-commissioned officers. You are someone who they shouldn't really bother you with a lot of discipline issues. That should be their job. But yeah, every company and squadron and things like that, whatever regiment you go to, you'll become friends with your soldiers if you're there for a long time. That is for sure. It won't. If you're too friendly, discipline will erode. DJ, it really won't, mate. It's not quite like that anymore within the military, where there's a huge barrier between officer and young soldier. It's kind of, those days are almost gone, to be honest with you. You build up such a rapport with the guys that you're commanding. You'll have a good experience with them. You'll have a good experience with them. You'll get to know them, and you'll see them throughout the whole of your career, and you'll be fine. There's no real need now for that huge divide, because at the end of the day, they will know you're the officers, like father and son. My little boy, we go and do absolutely everything together, but he still knows I'm in command. I will discipline him if he's sort of super naughty. He's not. He's really good, which is lucky. But I'm the disciplinarian. And he knows that. He knows the fine line already. However, we go absolutely everywhere together. We did do before they went to the States at this moment in time. But that's the key to it anyway. The guys will know. The guys will know. Ewan, what's the difference between cyber engineer in the signals and driver communications specialist in the RLC? I would say, Ewan, so for the man, it's lighting. I would say, so for cyber engineer in the signals, you won't be doing as much driving as you would for driver comms specialist in the RLC. I would imagine that would be driving the big man SVs around in the RLC, to be honest with you. So I would say cyber engineer, you're going to be doing a lot more networks. And I would say the driver comms specialist, you're going to be driving around. You might do some network thing as well, but it sounds to me that it'll be a case of you driving the equipment into location potentially. DJ, if you worked in a primary school, it's totally different. You have to have that fine line between teacher and kids. Yeah. Okay, seems better than what young officer experienced in the US Army, which some are scared to go out drinking with their soldiers for fear of favorism. That's rubbish, mate. Absolutely rubbish. You. What you won't find is a young officer being best friends with a private. You're not going to do that. That's not going to happen. But you will go out for when you have squadron dues, company dues. You'll go out and you'll be with the lads and you'll have a good laugh. You're not going to become best mates with them. That's just not going to happen. But you can still let your hair down in front of them when you do go out as well. Nate, what was my beep test score? God, I think the last beep test I did was ages ago, and I got about 12-1, 12-2, something like that. I always go as hard as I can in the beep test, regardless of whether I'm even the last one. I don't care if people just want to go. I always go hard as I can for the beep test, and that's the best mentality to have when it comes to fizz as well. Got a question about eyesight requirement. My right eye is 20/20, but my left is 20/30. Will this stop me getting in REME? If you don't wear glasses, probably not. The army eye test is essentially you stand up, and like the very first one, you stand up and they put the board up with the letters, or it might be on the wall already, and you just got to read the letters down to about like 3 lines. Even I can do it without my glasses on, and I'm like, I would imagine I'm probably medically blind more than likely without my glasses. I'm terrible with them, but you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You could just try it out. Just go to the opticians, do an eye test, make sure you can read the first load of lines, and you'll be absolutely fine with that. It shouldn't stop you getting in the REME, but that'll be something your MO, your medical officer, will tell you. 27 days until Harrogate going to be cold. Yeah, mate. I did basic training during the summer. I was lucky. Didn't have any rain or anything during my exercises. But either way, 27, it is going to be cold, but you're going to be cold all the time in the army. Half the blocks where you live are going to be absolutely freezing because they don't have any heating in half of them. Noel, I got told to try reapplying again on the 6th of July 2022 from Commonwealth. It is good because I'm still in uni. Okay, yeah, here we go. Look, so we're looking at next year now for reapplying for Commonwealth. It's sad. Because I know a lot of you want to get into the army, but they're making the stance, and if it's 2022, 2022, unfortunately. So BHS, looking at regiments at the moment, I'm hearing that I should try to find where you fit in. Based on your experience, what kind of people tend to go to which cap badges, or is it really a mixed bag? Mixed bag, mate. You'll do your BAB test, your cognitive test, see what score you get the job with the best promotion or the best paid money. That's what I'd say. That's what I did when I went in there. I got given a list of jobs. I was like, right, what will get me promoted the fastest? At the time, it was electronic warfare. I was like, right, I'll take that. And that was it. Job done. That's what I went for. I was just generally just concerned about money. And it sounded quite cool. The job did as well. So that's what I would say. And because if you don't like it, then all you have to do is change cap. That's my dog trying to get in. I don't know if you can hear that. Boom, boom, boom. It's only tiny as well, like a little pug. So that's what I do. Go for money and promotion. And if you don't like it, recap badge. Right. Did you current shortage of army officers, or at least new ones? Because I'm hearing mixed report. Is there I don't know. I don't know if there's a shortage of them, to be honest with you. I teach loads here at Blandford, absolutely loads, and the courses are always full. Is there a shortage? I can't comment on that. Sorry, mate. H1S, hi Sam, first time catching a live stream. Hi, glad you're here. Just want to say a big thanks for all the content you put out. It's been really helpful. Oh, great. That's great to hear it. And that's exactly why I do this channel, to help you guys out, because I had absolutely nothing like this myself when I joined up. And I think this would have been really helpful for people. I'm going to have to iron the bed before I sleep. Yeah, you will. She's going nuts, my dog is. Keenan, got my assessment next Monday. If I pass, what's the possible start date for basic. Probably about 2 months after, hopefully, for the Royal Irish, 2-3 months after, hopeful Keenan. Fingers crossed, be about 2-3 months after. STEM, chose my job role based on my own past work experience and what I fancy doing. Right, DJ, I've got Facebook back purely for the groups of T-hunters in there now. Have you met a para officer before? If so, how do they stand out? Oh my God, I had a nightmare with this one para officer once. Was he? Oh no, he wasn't a para officer. He was a WO 2 at the time. I was a staffy para officer. Yeah, they just fit me. They do all the same stuff, hang around with the lads. They fit. They're probably one of the fittest ones the para officers has. Compared to the guys, they're probably a bit fitter, I would say, from what I've seen. I did 3 months with them in America with one para on an exercise with 82nd Airborne Division. I think is it difficult to become a para officer? You just got to be fit, mate. You just got to be fit. You got to be fit, stand out in Sandhurst, and you'll get it. You will get it. Cheers, pal. This channel really helps, especially with the bleep test training. Keenan, good. I'm glad. Like I said, this is why I do it. What's the rifles like? Yeah, rifles, good bunch of lads in the rifles. I teach some of the rifles that come through Blandford as well. Good. Do you know what? You can't really go wrong when it comes to being a commissioned officer, because there's lots of avenues for you to go down, lots of avenues. Say you join the paras, you don't like it, then you can just try all other types of training. Just go and do something else, learn a language, become an interpreter, go and do something else. If you can do what's called E2 jobs. So they might just want, say, a lieutenant or a captain. Doesn't matter their cap badge, doesn't matter. They just want a captain to fill this role for 6 months or a year. You can just go and do it. You can come pure, you can get totally out of the rifles or paras or anything like that and just go and do a different job. So there's no need to worry about that if you think you make a mistake. Dan Charles, passed his assessment center. My videos help. Good to hear it. Thanks, mate. And thanks for the really nice comment. West Eye, can you go from soldier to officer? You sure can. So from sergeant, you can join the ETS, Education Training Service. That's hard, though, to become an officer from sergeant and get through that. Hundreds of people apply for it, and very, very few are chosen each year. So you can do it that way. Or from staff sergeant and warrant officer, you can go for any cap badge and go straight in as a captain. Or generally, from corporal and below, you might end up going to Sandhurst. You can apply, go to Sandhurst, and you will do the normal 1 year Sandhurst basic training, essentially. So it's dependent on, a lot of the time served and rank. So you go from like sergeant, staffy to W2, W1, you're going to go straight in as a captain. This is just generalizing. And then you go below that, you're probably going to end up going to Sandhurst for the full year. Or you can do like a week or 2 week selection from staff sergeant and above. It can be hard going from soldier to officer, but it's not impossible. Loads of people do it. So who cares if it's hard? All the better. Go for it. I've heard there are some officers without regiments. Well, it'd be, some might not be posted to a regiment because they'll have a cap badge. And they'll just be in like an E2 post. They'll just be doing random stuff, essentially, or working for the brigadier or something like that, generally. So, it can be true. You've got to get picked out, so it'll be more difficult. Why do people not go straight into captain? Deej. Yeah, they do. They'll go straight to captain from staffy. They will. Oh, why do people not do it? Oh, because you've got to go through a selection and it's on your reports. and it's on your reports as well. So they read your reports, then you go and do selection, a week selection, and then you get a point system. And then generally, if you're a World 2 or a World 1, you're already kind of ahead of the game. So you're going to get a higher point score on your report already because you're at a higher rank. So people do it and they do try it. It's just a little bit more difficult to go from staffy, but people do it. Why do people not go? What are some of the jobs in the Army Air Corps? I teach the Army Air Corps EW. They do like an EW package. All I know is the pilots. Unfortunately, they're down at Middle Wallop. I think is the home of the Army Air Corps, not too far from Blandford. All I know is the pilots. I don't know, but comment on a video tomorrow and I'll be able to look up some of the jobs and get back to you. So make sure you comment on a video tomorrow to remind me. I'll be in work and then I'll be able to look up some of the jobs for you. Let's have a look here. What are the advantages of being an officer over soldier? That's West Eye. What are the advantages of being an officer? You say apart from pay, but you probably don't start making the big money till you get to major, to be honest with you. So it's not really so much pay. The benefits of being an officer, I'd say the benefits of being an officer over the soldier, I think there's one benefit, and that is potentially when you leave, it looks pretty good on your CV. And that's why a lot of people join the army as officers. They'll do their 4 years to put on their CV, then they'll leave the army and go and get a civvy job. But for me, because I've not been a commissioned officer, I can't really say. I suppose another one is you get a different type of job. There are some really good jobs out there for officers as well, a different type of job, but a lot of it is staff work, and you get to like command regiments, you get to command men, large bodies of men, whereby non-commissioned officers, soldiers, we generally will own, we won't command such large levels, but at staffy you kind of do anyway. So pros and cons of both sides. Soldiers, you're going to get a trade. Officers, you're not going to get a trade. Generally, you're not going to get a trade. If you served in Afghan, how do you feel about the current situation? That's Mohammed. Yeah, I spoke about that. I'm so sorry, Mohammed. I spoke about that at length earlier. Was Afghan worth it? Do you know you can only, there's only one way to quantify Afghanistan, really, and that's if we saved lives. So was it worth it? If we've saved lives, which is difficult to quantify over there, yes, it's worth it. It is worth it if you save lives. However, as a military, we lost a lot of lives, so it's quite difficult to quantify that sort of aspect of Afghanistan, because we tried to put a government in place there, we tried to train their military, and none of that has helped whatsoever. Now the Taliban have ruled. Does social anxiety with panic attacks disqualify you from the army? It depends whether it's medical, I would say. If it's on your medical docs, then it might do. I haven't heard of that, unfortunately. It might do if it's on your medical docs. If it's not, and you could possibly overcome it, I would try. So unfortunately, I couldn't quite say that. But if it's on your medical, that'll be the medical officer to make a decision on. DJ, how long do you have to stay in the SAS once you finish selection? Sorry. The SAS is like the mafia, DJ, and you never leave the SAS once you're in, especially with your life. But that's a joke. I don't know. You'll stay in for however long you can. If you're decent, then they'll keep you in there as long as you can do your job effectively. that's generally how long you are gonna stay in there. But it is hard to get into the SAS, and then it's also difficult to get in the SAS officer because it's a much harder selection process to go in as an officer within 2-2. With all due respect, why would you? Okay, Black Desk. Do you get given a dictionary for all the? Oh man, there's so many TLAs, 3-letter abbreviations. You'll just learn them as you go along. There's so many I don't know. I only know the ones we use every day. And what makes it worse with the abbreviations, there's abbreviations that are the same, exactly the same, 3-letter abbreviations that one regiment or one cap badge might use, but we use a 3-letter abbreviation exactly the same, but it'll mean something completely different. So that's something you got to be careful with as well. Nightmare. Louis, I've seen people comparing Afghan to Vietnam. Yeah, for the Saigon. A little bit different. They like napalm loads of people. I think Vietnam's a little bit different. Yeah, Mohammed. Yeah, pray for the people of Afghan. Yeah, I'm with you on that, mate. She knew, and yeah, I don't think we'll go back in. I don't think we'll go back in either. But you never know. But there you have it. That was a quick 3/4 of an hour, wasn't it? Are there any more questions? If there's not, I will knock it on the head there, unless anyone has any questions. Get them in now. I'll have a quick Diet Coke. But I can see the amount of people here is going down now. And DJ, you have dishonored your family, mate. You should be hammering those questions, but I'm just kidding. Okay. Starts the infantry soon. Any last minute tips? Yeah, you're probably going to get messed around a lot and barked at a lot, but don't worry about it. That's the military for you. They don't mean anything by it. So don't worry. Do everything with a cool head, but mainly do as you're told, and you'll be absolutely fine. That's one bit of advice I would give. H1S, next live session, I'll do it next week. I'll do another one next week. Yeah, next Tuesday, probably. I'll do another one. Yeah, thanks, Stem. Yeah, you too. Deej, thanks. I'm glad you all like it. Right, brilliant, everyone. Thanks for coming. And if you haven't been able to get on this live, but you're watching it and you've seen the video and it's triggered something in your mind, just leave your questions in the comment section, and I always get back to them all. But other than that, everyone, take care, and thanks so much for coming. Bye.